What's up, everybody? This is Voices from the Tower, episode 5, actually. Thank you for joining. Thank you for listening. Today we have a different format. We are unfortunately on PlayStation, but we are joined by the luxurious Gunsmoke 820 and
Hello,
always
hello.
faithful Jabberjockey.
Hey, what's up, guys?
So today we're going to cover a little bit of last week's TWAB and this week's TWAB. So one of the first things I want to touch on is armor affinities changing. I don't know how you guys feel about it, but for the most part, I kind of dig it. I mean, if you get an armor piece that you want with a good stat roll, and well, let me rephrase it this way. It always happens. You get a good stat roll on an armor piece that you want, but then Infinity is solar. And you're stuck with it. You have to keep grinding or whatnot. But now you get the opportunity to change it to either Arc or Void or whatever you need to, or whenever you want to, at a cost. I don't know how you guys feel about it. I mean, Jabber, you're more the stats guy, optimizing, min-maxing.
I mean, it's a great change. There's already too many layers of RNG. You have to pray you get the great stat roll, and then after you get the stat roll, you have to pray you got the right affinity. The only thing I don't like about the change, and I think I've told you this before, is everybody who's already masterworked a lot of armor. In order to change the affinity, we have to spend the exact same amount of materials that it already cost us to masterwork that armor. I think there should be like a week grace period where it just allows us to change the affinity with no penalty, and then incorporate that, because it's a pretty hefty cost right there. I don't think we should be able to change the affinity at any time we want without paying a price, but I just want to see a little something for all of the people that have already masterworked like full sets.
And you, Billy, how do you feel about it?
Yeah, I mean, just like Jabber said, it's really good to a certain point. I mean, just having to upgrade it again when a lot of people do have their masterwork, all their stuff masterwork, especially gear that they took them so long to get already. I mean, it's already insane how much materials it usually takes to masterwork an item, especially armor. So I like
Oh,
it.
you mean
It's a good change.
using those valuable Ascendant shards that are only droppable from Master Nightfalls? Oh
Yeah,
yeah, yeah.
those.
It's real cheap to fucking
Those.
change things.
Yeah, no. Real quick, off topic. I read something this week about how, like, Crucible players don't have any access to Ascendant shards, and basically it's like, for us PvE players, imagine if they put Ascendant shards behind Gambit Prime only, or Gambit only. We have to go play an activity that isn't our main activity, hoping to get a material to upgrade our armor.
I take
So
offense to
for
that
that,
for the fact that I actually did. I don't know if you guys have gone to the Destiny tracker lately. I looked into it, and I'm in the top 0.02 percentile of Gambit. So I'm a pretty big deal over there. So I take offense to that. Billy's like, get the fuck out of here. Get the fuck out of here.
that is
Man.
sad.
Whoa,
is sad.
whoa. Off topic. You guys don't want to admit it, but Gambit is the best game mode to be introduced to Destiny. Gambit perfected. Yeah, Fractal Line isn't gonna unlock the trials. It's gonna unlock Gambit perfected.
That's what we want. That's what we really, really want.
What? I thought I was unlocking SRL, man. When's
Oh,
that spiral
God.
reglacing? Come on.
I actually want that to come back to experience that because I don't know what you guys are. What those D1ers love. I don't know.
We love that fucking tractor in the middle of the goddamn map. That's what we loved. That tractor that everybody got stuck on.
But yeah, moving on to this week's TWAB because that was on last week's TWAB and that was a big change that's coming out. This week's TWAB was basically Nerf City again. Izanagi was nerfed, snipers were nerfed, Lord of Wolves, fusion rifles, poor little last word on console, my nid's business just got slapped with the fucking hammer. So
Nerf or nothing.
Nerf for you, and Nerf for you, Nerfs for everybody. But the biggest one that was Izanagi. It's taking out Outlaw, getting no distractions, and then they're locking in the animation for Honed Edge. So if you have rifle perks for reload speed or anything like that, don't even bother because it's not going to change the reload speed. It's going to be the static rolled speed. Even though I've listened to different podcasts, I don't know if you guys have heard different. I saw Crosses and I saw Fallout, I think, and they all agreed that the mods won't change, but I know that Luna Factions is still up in the air. I don't know if you guys have heard differently, Jabber or Gun.
Yeah, I mean, we will see. I don't see it increasing the reload speed because they actually say it's more tied to the animation.
Yeah.
Now it's going to be as though the animation's not going to change at all. So, maybe you can get that bullet in the chamber quicker and then do a little sprint cancel. But other than that, I think they're trying to make it so that there's no way around it. I think that's one reason they actually may have removed Outlaw from it because they were having problems. Maybe having Outlaw on the weapon and keeping the reload animation slow. But
Yeah.
the change I'm not so happy with. No distractions. You don't need that on a gun you're firing one bullet on. Outlaw was
Doesn't
great.
work.
I feel like you have to aim down the sights for a while to even proc no distractions, and just not feeling that change at all. I don't like how Bungie focuses on nerfs whenever something gets popular.
Yeah.
You, Gun? What's your thoughts on the Izanagi's nerf?
I don't like it, man. I really don't. I just see it as Bungie's excuse for not being able to create something to overpower Izanagi's. I mean, I think they're just running out of, like, for example, the auto reloading from the rally barricade from when we used to have it, from the boots, from the well. We used to have the quick auto loading where you wouldn't have to reload anything. I think that was just an excuse. Them fixing it was just an excuse for them not being creative enough for trying to make us use different weapons, especially with Izanagi's being removed from Outlaw, and it's gonna not be used as much, and it's just, I see it as just an excuse that Bungie can't get creative enough to get around it. Is
I will
basically what I'm saying.
say, that having a special weapon like Izanagi, basically out DPS every heavy in the game,
Yeah.
and freeing up your heavy slot did make it a little difficult on Bungie, because then why use another special weapon or whatnot.
Yeah.
But what really upsets me, and this sucks, is right whenever Izanagi got big, they also buffed sniper rifles across the board by 20% on bosses, and basically, for the most part, everybody's using Izanagi. I haven't really used too many other sniper rifles, and now they're nerfing all other sniper rifles at the same time, and they're nerfing Izanagi. So it's like, oh, thanks guys. I I couldn't even use the sniper rifles because of Izanagi, and now you're nerfing them.
Is it hitting exotics though? Because I know we spoke about it earlier. It'll bring Whisper back into relevancy. Because I know people will laugh at you if you try to do that in Guardian.
Yeah.
So now you have that auto reload. You don't have the infinite ammo, but you have the auto reload on Whisper. And I know we talked about it in text. Is that going to be the new loadout? One person with Divinity and 5 other Guardians standing in a well with whispered breathing.
Yeah, it just depends on if they fix the whole Divinity glitch where it actually reduces your crit damage.
Yeah.
I haven't done any testing. I heard they fixed it, but I haven't checked it out.
I mean, not to criticize Bungie, and I don't know anything about game development. I don't know how hard it is for them to come up with ideas for raids. But I know it's been echoed throughout other community members, community shows, and whatnot. Is it our fault? Is it Izanagi's fault? Is it Whisper's fault that all of Bungie's raids is basically stand in this position, boss is 50 yards away, and
just shoot
do
him.
DPS?
Yeah.
Like, is that
yeah?
Like, name one raid boss in D2 where you can run up and shotgun the shit out of them.
Yeah, it's
Gowron's Deception.
I am proven correct. I'm wow. Yeah, I forgot about that.
But that's also why that's one of my favorite encounters, because unlike every other encounter, like look at Garden, third and fourth encounter, it's all snipers. Snipers, you're at a safe distance, you have a great crit multiplier, and for example, the Consecrated Mine, he's moving backwards, he's going back to the middle of the map, so you're not going to use anything other than a sniper rifle. It's basically telling you. But yeah, Gowron's Deception, killing him, Lord of Wolves and grenade launchers and other weapons is really fun. That's why I really enjoy that encounter specifically.
Because I even saw DMG, or who was it? Somebody liked a picture on Twitter of Prospector and a line in the sand, which I'm going on record. I'm going to call it Sandy from now on. Fuck you guys if you guys don't agree with me, but it's going to be called Sandy.
I call it the line.
It's Sandy. Let's all get Sandy out. That's going to be the go-to weapons. I mean, if you think about it, Lie in the Sand already competes with Izanagi because of the firing line perk. So now it's going to be the go-to weapon. It might be a little slower than Izanagi in Guardian of Salvation or what's Insurrection Prime. Well, even in Insurrection Prime, you can use Whisper.
Yeah,
because
depending on the boss. I mean, you still have Anarchy.
Don't mention Anarchy. Bungie might be listening. They forget about this exotic. Like, I'm not gonna lie, I was telling Billy while you were away, was when I saw the grenade launcher tab on the TWAB, I almost shit myself. Because I swear to God, I was going to scroll down and see Anarchy. It nerfed into the ground. I shit you not. I was like, oh my God. I was like, here we go with grenades. Oh my God.
The utility is so amazing on that. But it's not like it's overpowered. It's just great utility.
Yeah. I wish I had
Yeah, well,
one of
it's
those.
like I was saying, Billy, we 2-tap a major or a boss, and then we run away until we have to reproc.
Mm-hmm.
Or not even then, you 2-tap them, and then you swap over to Trophy Hunter with Vorpal, and you're doing double the damage.
Well, that's I just ran the Last Wish raid before I came over here with you guys, and I was actually running Anarchy the entire raid, except for, of course, the boss. Anarchy with Tranquility, with Firing Line, with auto-loading holster. So I'd 2-tap Anarchy, then I would switch to Tranquility, empty the entire mag, and rinse and repeat. It's great. I'm glad they increased the drop weight on Anarchy, but it'll be one of those options that a lot of people will be using. That Prospector, like you brought up, Line in the Sand, I do like that it'll bring other weapons to light, but we'll see. I don't like nerfs in general.
No,
They
I
should have
don't.
just buffed linear fusions, man. We need to get our linear fusions back.
Oh my god, like, give me back Sleeper. Billy was there. He
Exactly.
saw how much we used it. We fucking melted
It is a
strike
sad
bosses.
weapon. It is sad right now.
Oh,
Oh, Billy's gone. Who
yep.
James right now?
Oh,
But yeah, Sleeper was fucking amazing. Sleeper, Whisper, everything out of Warmind, the weapons for the most part, the exotics at least, were fucking amazing. And piece by piece, they've been just fucking. You get a nerf. This is gonna get nerfed. Even poor World Line Zero that is manned by speedrunners
Oh
is just
God.
nerfed. But
If they would add auto loading holster to sleeper, I would like
oh
that.
Lord.
But just as is right now, the damage it's just not worth the exotic slot, especially when you have other heavies that out DPS it.
Man, if I was
When
a
you have
Gambit player, I would cuss at you guys all day. But I'm not, thankfully.
what's wrong with Gambit? We just touched on this subject. You're talking to the.
Sleeper. What was wrong? Well, that's what was wrong with Gambit. Sleeper.
You're afraid of
nothing will
Queensbreaker.
ever touch Queenbreaker.
True.
You could shoot your foot headshot.
Oh my god.
True.
But yeah,
But
going
yeah.
on, moving on from just the general lack of snipers. Um,
How
they
do
got
y'all feel about that, guys? Like the fact that they gave us the 20% sniper buff on majors and bosses
and they
when
took it
Shadow
away.
Keep drop, and now 2 seasons later, like, never mind.
It's so dumb. It's like why give us the buff and then take it away? And I get it. You know, they explained that's why. They didn't like the fact that we were. I want to see what he's doing. Okay. They didn't like us sit in the back of the map, but I mean, it took strategy. It's just not something where okay, we're gonna run to the opposite side and just shoot. The enemies follow you. It's not like they're staying stationary. Those overload champions will butt fuck you if you don't stay. You know, if you don't take them down or move quickly.
Yeah.
Buff shotguns. Buff
Oh my god.
buff fusion rifle damage in PvE.
Original trench barrel.
Yeah, I mean, make these special weapons feel special. Otherwise, why use them? And also, I mean, while we're talking about that, I did an Omnigul Nightfall yesterday on PlayStation. On Destiny 1, and weapons felt very different. Special ammo felt very different. Primaries felt amazing. Any primary I put on felt strong. You just don't have that feeling in D2. They need to do some other weapon changes in D2. In my
The
opinion.
thing in D2 though, not to cut you off, is that everyone mentions it. I've seen in gigs, all these other guys. It's the power creep. We're too powerful.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't.
But with primaries, like if you have a primary and you're going against a yellow bar, there's nothing you can do. And don't get me wrong, primaries aren't necessarily made for yellow bars, but you should be able to do some damage to them. You keep them as is against all the trash ads. I mean, I know a lot of them are 2-tap or 3-tap depending on your weapon and archetype, but they should be able to do something more to majors. They should feel a little bit stronger. And I understand power creep, but still.
I don't know, Billy. What's your view on the snipers nerf?
I don't
You're a
like
very
it.
active Crucible. You can no longer one shot somebody without box breathing.
I don't like it. Especially since I'm very hellbent on trying to. I hate body shotting, so I try not to do it a lot, even though I still do every now and then. But I just try to get headshots most of the time, and having target adjuster really helps with that. And now that I'm not going to be able to do that, it's gonna hurt. I could see it coming from a standpoint if you're like, for example, if the fractal line actually opens up and it's actually trials, then I could see a little bit of a reason why they might be doing it. But in PvE, I don't get it. PvE to me, it doesn't make sense. It doesn't make a sniper feel like a sniper. So, honestly, I think it's a bad idea if they're doing it. Really bad idea.
I'm assuming because you mentioned it trials and it's on the horizon. They're doing it to either balance out the meta or balance out those trials weapons. But like you're saying, there's no point to it. Like they were in a good spot, they were perfect, and that's because I don't even use snipers. I use them occasionally. I use it just to get Revoker, and I haven't touched them since.
Yeah, no, I mean, that's all it is. I mean, the thing that really bothers me, if they really wanted to fix it, they still haven't touched up on the hand cannons yet.
Wait, I'm
Everybody's
holding
go
my
to,
breath.
everybody's loadout is either Thorn, Last Word. Well, maybe not Last Word after this, after this season ends. But Thorn, Ace of Spades is still good. I still use it a lot. Still a good hand cannon. Not Forgotten. Not Forgotten's brother, which I forget the name of.
Luna's up.
Lunas.
Luna's Howl. Yeah, it's everybody's go-to, and you're rarely gonna see, especially if it's a trials, you're rarely gonna see anybody using auto rifle, scout rifle. I mean,
Well, to jump a little bit of ahead though, we'll come back to the other nerfs. Take the salt out of our mouths. Autos are getting a buff. The adaptive, the rapid fire. I'm assuming they're doing that to bring it on par with the other weapons, like you're saying. Mainly part in the exotic slot. We talked about it. Hardlight. Hardlight right now it does melt. Watch Astrocross's video. He agrees that we're gonna probably be in a hardlight meta. There's Suros. There's Monte Carlo.
Monte Carlo. Can't wait.
So it'll be that of. I mean, I don't know about you guys, but when I play Crucible, I use Last Word. It's an exotic. It's a primary. It's very different from when I play PvE, and I have Anarchy on. So I'm very comfortable using one of my exotic slots in the primary slot or the energy slot. So since they took away my Last Word, and that's still to be seen if it's going to be a major nerf, because they more nerfed it on mouse and keyboard on PC than they did on console. So it might still be a little viable. But for the most part, I might be rocking a Hardlight, a Suros, Monte Carlo next season, in trials, losing matches of course, but I'll be in there.
yeah.
And I think they mentioned other auto rifles like Gnawing Hunger. The only thing that I don't like about Gnawing Hunger is the stability is a little out, crazy. I didn't get my hands on that Reckless Oracle. Arc Logic. And even Misfit.
Tiger Spike.
Decent. Tiger Spine. Who uses Tiger Spine?
I do like how Bungie did actually acknowledge that auto rifles are automatically at a disadvantage in comparison to burst fire weapons, because of course hand cannons, pulse rifles, scout rifles, you can actually take cover, step out, burst fire, take cover. Auto rifle, you have to basically continuously fire in order to do damage. So they're automatically at a disadvantage. So I understand they're bullet hose, but still. And just to touch on what Gunsmoke said, most of those hand cannons you mentioned, most of them are 150s. They do need to buff all the other hand cannons.
Yeah.
Definitely. That way we need more variety. Not only in different weapons, but different archetypes of that same weapon.
Well, that's why I said I was holding my breath for the major update, because I know last season they did the same thing, or from Shadowkeep. They got it out of the way. They told us what was getting nerfed. Have, your last moments with them before they get, buried. But there were still some positives within the opening patch notes. So I'm actually hoping that they're going to address those hand cannon issues because.
Yeah, well, I know DMG4 did say that there's a big sandbox
Yeah.
patch coming in. And I would assume that if it is again touching on the fractal line, if that does open up trials, I assume that that's what they're gonna do, especially with all these changes coming through now. I would assume the next big patch would be probably hand cannons. Would be how they're gonna manage to not only get another person to stop using the regular meta, but to make them play with different weapons and just use other weapons besides those hand cannons.
Yeah, I'm looking for it right now. They did mention it in even the TWAB, and they said it best. This is what they put. These are some of the biggest changes coming to weapons, but be sure to check out the official patch notes in early March for the full list.
Yeah.
We'll also have a preview of exotic armor changes, which I'm assuming will be next 12.
That's what I'm excited about.
Along with the fine tuning to your supers and abilities in the coming weeks. Stay tuned. So, just like last time, I think this is them just getting the salt out of the way. Like, have everybody get mad, have everybody whatnot. But I think for the most part, we're trained not to love our exotics. Because, like I mentioned, they broke my heart with Whisper. I thought the last patch they took away some exotics too. Basically, the train is not to love our exotics. I'm surprised they haven't touched Outbreak. They're the nanites when you have it at 100%.
Well, it's not OP anymore without auto reload.
Well, that's why. I mean, they took away auto reloading. Actually, just a little side note, spitballing. Would you think because of what they're doing to Luna factions? I mean, because of what they did to Izanagi. Do you think that they'll reintroduce the auto reload with Luna factions? And it, like,
oh, I'm sorry.
I feel dumb kind of just throwing it out there, but
could you say it again, man? I didn't understand.
Oh, like with them taking away Izanagi, locking in the reload. Do you think that they might, and I say very loosely, they will re-input the Luna faction auto reloading?
Oh, not at all. No, they're done with auto reload entirely.
Because I know that's what stopped Izanagi from being a viable weapon beforehand was because of Luna's
auto reload. Yeah,
because of auto reload.
Well, no, I mean, even if you brought back
Whisper doesn't have infinite
Lunas,
ammo anymore.
Yeah. If you brought back the original Lunas, it would still do the same thing with Izanagi it did before, where you would fire your big shot, and then you can't. It automatically gets you back up to 4 in the mag. I used to test that. No, the main reason that they took away Lunas is like, come on, the grenade launchers, the rocket launchers, firing infinitely. They made us too strong, so they're going to keep them more.
I mean, we're going back to a grenade launcher meta. That's the only reason I kind of bring it up, because
they're nerfing grenade launchers.
Not mountaintop though, and that's one thing that going back to the nerf part of the salty part of the TWAB is grenade launchers. The Swarm of the Raven, Outrageous Fortune, I believe they were aggressive frames. Correct me if I'm wrong. And now they're being changed to rapid fire frames just so they can nerf the damage output by, and I think I wrote it down, negative 10%. Just bring them down a notch. And I know, Jabber, you have thoughts on that. But Billy, do you have anything? I mean, how much do you use grenade launchers on PlayStation?
Honestly, I don't use it that much. I mean, I do have one that I would use occasionally for strikes, or I would use a prospector for tier 3 of the, what was that, Gambit, to farm the spare rations. What's that activity called?
Reckoning.
I forgot it. Reckoning, yeah. I would use a prospector for the 2 nights. Other than that, I mean, I would just use a regular grenade launcher with spike nades that I had gotten from the Reckoning. I would just use it in strikes. Yeah, that's all I would use. I mean, I wouldn't really use grenade launchers, anything other. Besides Mountaintop, I mean, Mountaintop is still one of the weapons I do use regularly, especially in PvE. But heavy grenade
I'm surprised you didn't
launchers,
touch it.
nah. I'm surprised too, but I think I don't know. It's at a good state.
In a good spot.
I would think so. Yeah, I think it's at a really good spot.
I
I
mean,
don't
you
think
can't
they
nerf
should
it
take
without
Jabber,
nerfing
your
its
thoughts
perk.
on the grenade launcher nerfs?
So yeah, I mean, they're nerfing the 150 RPMs and they're changing its name. That's all they're really doing. The 150 RPM and the 120 RPMs were doing the exact same amount of damage, which on paper basically made all 120s obsolete. So, I mean, it's an appropriate nerf. If you're going to be doing a higher rate of fire, you should be doing a bit less damage. So, the main takeaway from here is Wendigo. Wendigo's a 120. I think we're going to see Wendigo usage go up a bit more. They are increasing the ammo reserves on the 150s. So, it's not like, I mean, and the damage is going down, but you're still going to be doing good damage with the 150s. They're not going anywhere. But you will see a little more Wendigo usage, and you will see a little bit of the what's the void grenade launcher everybody hates?
Which one? Swarm?
Oh, I know what you're talking
Transit.
about.
Transit.
Yeah,
It's transit.
That's a 120, and actually,
Oh my god.
I have a good roll. I know Esoteric uses it in a few of his videos. Yeah, I mean, it just brings a few more weapons to the table. I don't mind the
I
nerf.
agree with you.
Leave Anarchy alone.
I know. Don't mention anarchy. Don't. Shh.
Yeah, I have my swarm with spike and auto-loading holster. But I am excited to be able to use maybe some 120s. Maybe they'll introduce some new ones. Imagine a War of Mine themed grenade launcher.
That would be awesome.
Oh my god.
That would be awesome. And the
Otra
gun
vez.
again.
Oh, War Mine themed sword. Best thing ever.
That would be
It
cool.
would look like little diamonds together.
Dude, yes. I'm so excited.
Like what's that game called? Minecraft sword? It'll be the Minecraft sword?
It'll be the Minecraft sword. It will be the Minecraft.
Oh my god. I want that to be a thing. I'm just thinking about it.
Minecraft sword.
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
Vorpal
But yeah,
weapon
going on to
Vorpal weapon on a few of those. Oh, sorry. Just
oh. I'm telling you, Trophy Hunter Vorpal is gonna be the one to have.
dude, Minecraft sword with Vorpal will be the one to have.
Oh god. I swear if that's not a thing, I'm gonna be so upset.
Oh, yeah.
I want that to be a thing now. I want to win it into the universe. An exotic Minecraft sword.
Jesus Christ.
Oh, exotic.
Um,
God.
God.
That literally turns the game into 16-bit type graphics when you swing it. Just break the fucking game. It's buggy as it is. But continuing this salt train. Well, actually, no. The next subject is great for. I thought you were gonna shoot the rocket. Is great for PvP. Is Lord of Wolves can go into the vault. You know what? Fuck it. Send it to the collections. Just delete it because it is getting nerfed. Release the Wolves is getting reducing accuracy when you use it. So basically, when you park that shit and you shoot it, you're gonna climb up the fucking wall.
Thank the Lord.
So let's all take a moment of silence for Lord of Wolves because he can go suck a nut. That's enough silence. I don't know. I mean, do you guys have any salt for that? I don't. I've been marked by that enough, even on console.
Yeah, it's stupid.
I'm just
That
gonna
gun
say
should never
that
have been in the game.
I'm glad I don't play PC. Because yes, that's apparently the worst thing ever. And the other thing is people really underrate that weapon in PvE, especially with the catalyst. It does an unbelievable amount of damage against bosses. But other than that,
Yeah.
everybody hates it for other reasons.
Let's go ask Fallout
He's like your
how he
drunk
feels
Uncle
about
Lenny.
fucking Lord of Wolves. Oh my god. I don't know. I have nothing to say on this topic. I just wanted to bring it up because it was in the TWAB and rest in peace. But yes, you are right. In PvE, it does melt. But I don't want
If
to
you get
put
another
anything else on
Galran's Deception
Anarchy.
style boss, we'll
But
have that
are
in
you
our
going to need
Minecraft
it if there's a
swords.
shotgun with Vorpal weapon?
Depends. I mean, just depends on DPS and ease of use. Like, against Galran, yes, it actually keeps up with the 150 grenade launchers right now. So, I mean, it's amazing. But leading up to that point, it's not the best thing against like the witches from a distance and stuff like that. So, yeah, I mean, we'll see.
And then speaking of things that I'm glad that are going to be dead, and I hope this thing is dead in the ground. Fusion rifles are getting adjusted.
Jesus Christ, can I get an amen for that? Amen.
Oh my god, I'm hoping, because they mentioned the whole thing that they had to rewrite the algorithm for precision shots and precision damage, which is why the bolts would find the like crit spot. I don't know, it's stupid. So basically, let me bring up the 12 for that, because it's a bunch of.
I think the main thing from the fusion rifle is the backup plan.
Yeah, backup plan was an exotic perk in the original Destiny release, and it was placed on the legendary fusion rifles in D2 due to them being heavy ammo weapons at the time rather than special ammo weapons they currently are. When the weapons were shuffled around in Forsaken, the perk came along with them. We've decided to adjust alongside the archetype itself to have it fall back in line with other legendary perks. So I didn't know that. I didn't know that it was an exotic perk. I didn't know that these Arantel heretics were running around Crucible with an exotic perk on a legendary gun. I didn't know that. I was like, I don't know. I didn't play D1. But it says their backup plan is now adjusted. Adjust impact to match the rapid fire sub archetype while active.
Am I gonna have to be the one to say this, or are y'all gonna say it?
You can.
This is the breakneck nerf. That's exactly what it is. They should have removed the perk entirely, because a breakneck, whenever you get a kill, it changes the archetype of the weapon. It changes everything. That's what backup plan does. When you first pull it out now, it's gonna have the same charge rate and the exact same impact as a rapid fire fusion rifle. So why do you want that? If you want if you want a rapid fire fusion rifle, you're gonna use a rapid fire fusion rifle. They just breakneck nerfed it.
And I'm glad. We'll fucking break the neck of Arantel.
Remove the perk.
Yeah, remove that. I think. Yeah.
They removed shot package in D1 and replaced it with surrounded. They should have just removed backup plan if they're going to do this. Not that I ever use it.
No, of course not. But yeah, it.
You're still going to get killed with fusion rifles, Rocky. They are a good archetype.
I hate them. I've literally been mapped with an Arantel.
I have nothing against fusion rifles. Unless I slide in, I see a guy across the map, across the country from me, and I get mapped by a fucking Arantel, by a guy who's crouching from long distance. It's the only time I have a problem with it. Get me a backup plan. Get me up close. Fuck it, you win. But get me from three fucking miles down. Fuck no. See, that's what really gets me in Crucible. Nothing gets me more angry than getting mapped at a stupid distance, especially from a fusion rifle.
Of shotgun with like what do you call it? Plasma as bullet spread. I don't. I mean, I've never liked fusion rifles. I see no
think
point for them. I've never used them. I
They're
think the only one I actually use is Merciless
they're
for the
good. I
First
mean,
Levi.
yeah.
to me, it's a good combat for, especially for shotgunners. Like you go up against a bunch of people who are shotgunning or uh, using anything up close, sidearms. They're a good counter. But for you to be able to get me from sniper distance, I don't think so.
But yeah, I
I
mean, if we're talking about power fantasy, I mean, fusion rifles are a fantasy weapon. Those and trace
yeah.
rifles. I like them in the game. I really do.
I don't like it when they're fucking mapping me though. But
Yeah,
yeah, I
it's
mean, they do mention damage fallout for this weapon archetype can now floor at point 0.5. Previously is 0.75,
hmm
which is
Hmm.
like, I think somebody says like 50%. So they're cutting the max impact in half.
From a distance, yes.
So basically, you won't get mapped, 3 miles away. You're gonna get hit 1.5 miles away.
No, no, no. I
Um,
mean, on the high impact fusion rifles, every bolt does what is it about? All depending on what 45 to 47 per bolt. So you'd have to land 4 to 5 bolts. Now, and that's with full damage. If we're cutting that down by to 50%, they're only going to be doing about what 20, 22, 23, 24 per bolt. So even
Yeah.
if you land all 6, 7 bolts, you're not going to be able to kill a guardian at range.
mhm.
So
See,
no,
I
it's a good
mean,
nerf. It's a good nerf.
yeah, I find it reasonable. I find it really good.
oh, I agree. I'm anxious to see how all this is going to play out. I mean, for the most part, we've touched upon everything. I mean, except for shotguns, but I think their nerf was directly aimed towards mind menders. If you look at it,
Yeah.
the range stat has no effect on the weapon, no effect on bullet spread. Now I think it depends on the archetype, right? If I read correctly.
Rocky, do you hear that?
Hear what?
It's Telesto screaming. It's coming back.
Oh my
Telesto's
god!
coming back.
Don't,
Just wanted to throw that out
don't,
at you
don't.
because it doesn't
No.
care too much about range
Oh my god!
with its crystals.
I
But yeah,
swear, if I hear that little, the bring. Oh my god! Oh.
Gunsmoke. Do you like using shotguns in Crucible?
Not really.
Not really.
Nope. If you look at my stats, I probably have only like 100, 200 kills with shotguns.
They're
All
just
my
too
kills come
inconsistent.
from a sniper.
They're so
Yeah,
inconsistent.
I did not know that the target acquisition, that there was a problem with it. I did have the target acquisition on one of my shotguns, and I was getting angry at myself because I thought I was missing. But at this point, I don't think I was seeing the TWAB.
Oh my god!
And that was just for the Iron Banner. But
Well, that inconsistency increases by like 100% when you're in the air. That's why everybody puts air assault on shotguns.
oh, okay,
It's like, oh.
that
That's
makes
why
sense.
sometimes you're in the air and you fire, and you expect the guy to die, and he doesn't take any damage at all. Every bullet just misses.
Yep, exactly. So I'm a sniper guy. I'm a real. I run, slide, peek. If I hit you, then I run away. If I don't hit you, I run away still. But yeah, I'm more of a peekaboo sniper kind of guy. I really like snipers in Crucible. Maybe not after this. Seeing how this all plays out, maybe not after this, and I might have to switch to fusion rifles. But maybe go to Cerberus, start practicing my auto rifle skills.
Trophy hunter, Vorpal, or beloved with box breathing. Go get it.
Wait, what?
I
They just mess with all special weapons, right?
Yeah.
For the most part, yeah.
I do have a Twilight Oath for box breathing.
There you go. It's gonna be your best friend. Well, actually, no. It's a rapid fire. It's getting adjusted. That's getting touched
Oh
too.
yeah, you're right. I have 557 kills with this in Crucible. I really love it.
Yeah, because rapid fire sniper's base impact has been reduced from 100 to 90.
Yeah, which is good. Which is good because I was getting tired of getting body shotted also, which will only increase more, but gives me a bigger chance to run.
I mean, in the last nerf, if you want to say it's a nerf, is well last word. I mean, poor little thing was sitting in its corner in console, and it's getting. I don't know how to what's the word to say, but it's not even getting touched. It's getting like slammed to the ground.
The what?
You last word where you have to hit a precision shot now. You can no longer. Oh man, it would send me to orbit. You can no longer just spam the button. You have to actually aim, and hope you hit the crits from hipfire. And if Kain was here, he would be jumping in joy for hipfire grip actually playing a part in an exotic.
Well, actually, going back to the hand cannon that I was talking about, I did just see DMG did post a Twitter. Well, he did post on Twitter that a person had asked him under the TWAB if the 110/140 hand cannons were getting some love, and he said that there would be no changes to the hand cannon archetypes from 110 to 140 in the next sandbox update, which kind of sucks now.
Oh, so they just confirmed that. Fuck.
Because it's been a couple months. It's been more than a couple months.
Well, a long time, man. They need to revert back to the D1 system where you have 140s that, well, 2 headshot. Well, actually, in D1 they would 1 headshot, 2 body shot.
Yeah, that's right.
We need that to be a 110. 110 needs to be 1 headshot, 2 body shot, and then we need our 140s to be 2 headshot, 1 body shot. We need
that makes sense.
Instead, they're all 3 headshot.
Mm-hmm. I think, like I was telling Rocky, yeah. The good thing is the thing I was telling Rocky last time is, I know it's hard for the Bungie team to actually go through all of this and deal with all the changes that they already have to do with now, especially with game-breaking things such as Telesto, Wish Ender. I see it as it's hard for them to test it. Like I was saying with Rocky, they don't have as big as a team as they used to. And now with the new seasons coming in, like I think they're just too focused on certain other things than to actually try to make this game feel like the Destiny 1 or grab like the how Destiny 1 used to feel when it comes to doing all these changes and nerfing all the things that became really powerful and became really useful, and now they just bring them to the ground every time something becomes popular. And they did perfect in D1. I would to me they did good, especially with the doing some changes to PvP and all that.
I think it begs the question: should Destiny 2 have a hard mode? Because, like you mentioned, they're bringing these weapons down to make it harder on us, so that we don't one-phase bosses, we don't breeze through raids, breeze through nightfalls. They just, to piggyback, they just they're going to introduce the Grandmaster mode for the Nightfall ordeal. Should there be prestige mode again in raids? I mean, that way they wouldn't have to nerf Izanagi's Whisper if it was harder. Right now, I think they're nerfing it, and they're bringing the guns down because of the power creep. They don't want us to be too powerful because they're struggling, like you said, to make content that's difficult, content that's challenging for the lifers, the guys who live in Destiny, the guys who, like myself, Jabber, yourself, even yourself, watching Fallout, watching Glad, watching Datto break these guys with their weapons. Like, should there be a Grandmaster for a raid mode? I mean, Jabber, I don't know if you have any thoughts on that. I mean, that's the only way I see them really giving us the power fantasy in strikes and whatnot. But bringing that level of difficulty to raids.
Unfortunately, Bungie has showed us that they're unable to provide us a proper prestige difficulty in Destiny 2. The prestige difficulty in Year 1 was a joke, and in Year 2 of Destiny 2 it's been non-existent. And then even the raid challenges that they have come out with aren't fun, they're not entertaining, so at this point, I say just let them make their base raid, and then maybe a prestige will be either stronger enemies or we're handicapped with a contest modifier, because Bungie hasn't done well with prestige mode since D1, and even a lot of those prestige modes are arguably just a little monotonous. But there were a couple good things, like preventing the I'm not sure if you remember this, Gunsmoke, but in Vaulted Glass, preventing the Templar from teleporting.
Templar! Yes, that was
fun.
Hard.
It was hard, but it was fun.
It was stupid hard. To this day, that Templar still gives me nightmares.
So I mean, I would love there to be, of course, 2 versions of every raid and maybe a little different mechanics, and but I haven't seen anything from Bungie to show me that they can come through with it.
Yeah.
I mean, sadly, the team's
I'm not
too
sure if
small.
y'all are aware, but in the Leviathan, you know the baths? The challenge for that, which I've never actually done the challenges there, is just to have one person stay in the middle the whole time. That's the challenge. Stay in the water.
That's the challenge?
Yeah. So, yeah.
It's been so long since I did.
Oh, no, I'm so sorry, guys. So you go back to Crucible real quick. Forsaken Year 2, Destiny Year 2, Crucible. Well, no end game. Nothing going on. This year, so far, up until hopefully Trials release, there's been no end game. There's been no direction for Crucible. We had a Crucible lead leave. They've just done some sandbox changes, but nothing that I want. Like, I really hope they're finally starting to steer the Crucible ship straight.
I can see that.
I mean, that's what Trials will be, no?
Yeah.
Because you haven't seen a Crucible endgame yet, Matt.
No. You mean hitting Legend 2 in quickly?
Getting Iron Banner recycled armor again is an endgame, so...
I love that endgame.
Avengers.
Oh, we're not talking about that endgame? Oh, okay, never mind. Let's come back to Destiny.
But yeah, Gunsmoke, what do you think about prestige modes?
I think it's pretty good. I'm not really a raid man myself, but I do like a challenge as long as it's fun. Like you said, that Templar was pretty challenging and pretty rewarding too for that Fatebringer, especially for the new Fatebringer that they brought back, making it exotic and all that. As long as the way I see it, as long as they bring a satisfying reward, an actual good reward to back it up, then I could see, like, as long as it's fun and everything, I could see that mode being good. I could see any mode they're doing be fun. But again, if it's gonna be, for example, like the pools, if it's gonna be that kind of challenge, then there's no point. I mean, there's no
I
challenge
mean,
in that. There's no fun in that. I don't see the fun in
to
that.
sorry, didn't mean to cut you off, but
No, go ahead.
I know Daniel can attest to it. Honestly, they need more encounters like the Crota Nightmare Hunt. I know right now Daniel's having flashbacks and he's quietly raging underneath. But that thing kicked our ass. It took us about an hour, hour and a half, and that's a nightmare hunt. We had to do it under 15 minutes for the time trial.
You see,
And the only way we could damage him was with his sword.
yeah,
It nullified Anarchy, it nullified our mountaintops. I even think we were using Yoden at one point for the shields, but that was for the ads. Other than that, I would have to jump up and crash down on him with a sword, because if you ran up to him, when you went into attack, he would attack you,
yeah.
and he would kill you, and there goes your damage face.
Yeah, I was gonna say, ain't that the one that's really buggy?
Denji?
I just know he would one-shot us like crazy.
Yeah, that's the only problem that I had with him.
So I didn't have fun.
Yeah, you see, that's like stuff like that. I mean, it's cool seeing Crota, but I mean, you shouldn't get. I guess you shouldn't get one shot at the level that we're at.
I think Mad
But,
enjoyed
no,
it
but
because it
we
gave
didn't
him a
come
hero
up with
moment.
a strat, though.
Mad killed him in the end.
I had a... Yeah.
And it provided a hero moment that
you
raids don't do anymore.
Or it was
Yeah.
you or Gale that ran up to him on accident, and you guys got killed. The sword dropped. You dropped your sword, and I jumped in the air and I crashed down on him, burnt through my ammo on that sword. And I picked up the other sword, and I continued, and that's how we finished him. I think with like 14 minutes left. But what if I hadn't figured that out? Jumping in the air, and I would have to crash down on him to avoid getting hit. We would have been there for another hour. Like, even though you hate it and you never want to do it again, that was pretty fun. Like like for me at least, and my personal opinion, figuring that out, jumping in the air, crashing down on him, that was like a aha moment for me. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And that's something I would never have felt if we were using Anarchy or sit in the back, hitting them with Izanagi's. But like you said, like they don't make encounters like that anymore. At least not raid encounters.
Can I ask you a question?
Wasn't he the same way in D1?
D1 would have some fun
Skolas?
encounters.
Skolas was pretty fun.
Skolas, week 1 was awful.
Oh,
Week
week
2
1 was fucking horrible.
It was what? It was Arc week 1, and then when Solar came around in week 2, it was
Oh,
actually killing
baby,
us.
yeah.
Lord.
But damn, man, was it satisfying to kill him?
Oh my
Let me
God.
tell you, that was so
hours,
satisfying.
hours.
It took me one night. Me and my team set up to get on at 7. We didn't get off till about 4 in the morning, and we still didn't kill him. First thing in the morning, we woke up. First run we did, killed him easily. How excited we felt! I haven't felt that way in a while. Skolas has to be one of my favorites of all time, especially from the Destiny series.
And it was
And
easier
they
for
need
you to
to
do
get
because
something back.
it was 3 men, right?
Yeah, it was easy. Yeah.
Well, that goes into my question for you two guys. Most people usually only have a fire team of 3, 4 buddies. It's not always 6.
Mm-hmm.
No,
Well,
it's not always 6.
How would y'all feel if these raid encounters had, after week 1 they drop, of course you have the 6-man them. But what if they had a built-in 4-man, where the mechanics are just maybe a little bit different, still hard, really hard, but you can just jump in with 3, 4 buddies and do the raid. I think that'd make it more accessible to more of the player base. I think
Yeah,
Oh yeah.
what's the current percentage of people that actually complete raids? I think it's
Less than
like really low,
5%.
like 3, 4, 5%. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's like
that's crazy.
2%.
Then you don't have
Two,
to
3%.
LFG any crazy 1983 Dodus.
Oh my god, don't. Billy
Y'all
doesn't
all
know what
had
we're
that
talking
one
about.
guy in the raids, and you'd rather have him not be there. Now you don't need him. I just think that'd be interesting.
That would I would like to see something like that. That'd be pretty cool. I mean, I think they're doing pretty good. Their concept with the dungeon, doing all that,
Yes.
it's a great idea, great concept. I really like it. This last dungeon, it was fun. Wasn't that challenging, but it was fun. Something
I
different.
mean, it's challenging solo. At least for me, I know Jabber
Yeah, I
has
could I
what
could see it
11.
being. I've done it once, but I cheated. You don't want to know how, but I cheated. Um,
Destiny and cheating is goes hand in hand. Jesus,
Well,
there's
we're
a
talking what
raid. Last
gallbits or
wish
skipping the second encounter.
that it's all cheese at the very end.
yeah. Um, yeah, I think bringing stuff like that, something that could like more 3 to 4 player activities, even two, like activities that are kind of difficult and are rewarding at the same time, could be pretty big. I mean, we have strikes, but there's no strike specific loot besides nightfalls.
Remember running strikes in D1 Gunsmoke for the weapons? Skeleton
Oh
keys?
yes, especially I love that the Grasp of Malik from
Oh, of course.
the Screaming Bitch.
Remember killing her with swords?
Yes, at the very beginning before she went into her room.
I tried it yesterday. I couldn't do it with two
Did it
people.
work? I actually farmed that time. I went to LFG with a friend of mine, and me and her farmed it with a 62-year-old guy
Oh,
that was
wow.
trying to
Oh
get it.
god.
And he was decent.
Don't tell me booty me again.
He was decent. He was good, and he got one. He got a good one. I forgot the role, but I remember he got a good one because he was so happy.
Yeah, but changes like that would be awesome, definitely. More challenging activities for 3, 4 man groups.
Yeah.
As much as I love 6-man raids, it's not always feasible, and being social with somebody you meet on LFG isn't always the best. I've been having some bad experiences lately, not with just people that aren't necessarily good players, but a lot of immature people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I could see that.
Yeah,
I've
no.
had that. I have a friend who plays and she's a female, and
Oh, exactly. That's
it's really
very,
bad.
very hard. Oh my
It's really
god.
bad. So that's why I try to keep it to the people that we know and stuff like that, because there's a bunch of guys that just
Oh, that's
are
awful.
assholes.
Don't know how to.
I mean,
They're
that's
children.
everywhere.
Children.
Yeah,
They're
that's
innocent
everywhere.
children.
But like on a game where you're just trying to get away from your day and stuff like that, it sucks. But nothing you can really do.
But
So I think I covered most or all of the swab. I don't know if you guys have any final subjects or anything like that.
No, I mean the
No?
next thing that I'm looking forward to is just what this fractaline, giving all this fractaline gives us, and the big sandbox update and where it's gonna go. That's all it really matters. I'm not if I gotta say if the sandbox isn't good and it's not what I expect, Trials is gonna be a really painful bite in the ass for Bungie for them to fix. People aren't
Here's my
always going to be
question.
pleased, and they should know that. I think they do know that already, but a lot of these weapons, man, they're just nerfing them. Nerfing.
Nerf for nothing.
That's my
Exactly.
question though. Are we? I mean, is Trials coming right off the bat though? Because the way the TWAB said it, that there's a big update coming in the middle of March, right?
Yeah, and I don't think, in my opinion, as seeing it from a Crucible perspective, I don't think it is. The reason is because they wouldn't want to release Trials the way things are right now, especially when a new update is coming out. Because with new updates means newer things that are possibly broken. And if they release Trials right away with all this stuff going on, with the update coming out, um, it's a risk for them the way I see it, because what happens if they find a game breaking Telesto Infinity glitch again? Or if
Mm-hmm.
they find a Wish Ender broken glitch again? What's gonna happen? People are gonna go to the forums, gonna go to Reddit, gonna complain about it, and then what? They're either gonna shut down the weapon, or if it gets too bad, they'll shut down Trials.
Well, then it'll be just like D1. I mean, we had Thorn 2 tapping in
Yeah.
D1. We had last final round snipers. We had all
Hmm.
that same stuff. So I have
Yeah.
this in my back though. We'll
I
deal with it.
yeah. I mean, there's a lot of people that don't really care. I mean, honestly, if it was up to me as a Crucible player, like the only thing I see that needs to be fixed right now is just the fusion rifles, just the range. And that's it. Keep everything else how it is. Don't nerf last word. Leave it how it is, and just see how it plays out for Trials. If Trials is actually coming back, just see how it plays out. I mean, Destiny 1 did really good with Trials, and most of the loadouts were pretty pretty normal. Hand cannon, sniper, shotgun. Oh, I did see. If I remember correctly, I did see a lot of snipers back in D1, especially
Mm-hmm.
icebreakers, because it
Oh,
gave you ammo back and could kill somebody off the res, especially supers.
self-resing warlocks.
Yeah, I missed that. I
I'm
missed that.
excited. I'm excited to see what exotic armor changes they're gonna make. Hopefully, they completely change the perks on a few things like the Aeon exotics. Hopefully, they touch up
Those are
on, well, they're
perfect. They
gonna
don't need to be
touch up on
touched.
Stronghold, the
Oh my
Ram.
god, what if they touch the stompies on the hunter?
No, I think it'll be positive changes. I feel like they're gonna
Think
fix
so?
exotics. They better. I don't want them to nerf exotics, not armor. So
I
I'm
think if it was
excited to
nerfs, they
see
would have
some
been
positive
on this
changes.
TWAB.
Um,
Yeah, that's true.
yeah, so that's what I'm looking forward to. That and hopefully the trials, weapons, and armor is going to be something special. I want something good, and give me my Minecraft sword, please.
Yeah, for me, like I said, I think if there was gonna be a negative impact or a nerf to exotics, it would have been in this one. I think it, like you're right, it's gonna be good changes. I'm excited for what the new meta is gonna be. We talked about it. Is it gonna be Sandy? Is it gonna be Wendigo? Mountaintop again? Because they've already mentioned it's not gonna be snipers. Snipers aren't gonna be the meta unless it's Whisper and you're rocking Divinity or something, or you're doing Insurrection Prime. Um, so I'm excited to see what next season's meta at the end of the season is going to be. Bungie can't hurt me anymore. I've told myself that my exotics are invaluable, so I don't get attached to them anymore. Except for Anarchy, they touch Anarchy, I'm uninstalling the game. I'm saying that right now. No, I'm kidding. I probably wouldn't. I live here. But yeah, to sign off, Gunsmoke, where can people find you?
Um, Gunsmoke 820, PS4, YouTube. That's about it.
Shitting people in Crucible, dicking them down.
Yeah, yeah. If you see me Crucible, don't be afraid to give me a teabag. Maybe use Aaron Tilt to get me upset.
And Jabber, where can people find you?
YouTube.com/jabberjaw, JABBERJAAW, or Twitch.com/jabberjockey.
Alrighty. Y'all can find me here. Just search Mad Prophet because I have not been able to change my URL on YouTube, so I don't have a fancy one like Jabber. So look up Mad Prophet 7. Put spaces. It's not one word. And you can find me at Mad Prophet 7 on Twitch. I mean on Twitter. Hopefully Twitch next week. So yeah, appreciate you guys for putting time aside. Probably never doing it on PlayStation again because it is too difficult to set this up. So next time, Gunsmoke, you need to come to Xbox.
Will do.
So yeah, thank you for listening. Any feedback? I know this is a long one, but it was a really salty twab. That's perverted.
So imagine how long the 12 would have been for Whisper. I mean,
oh my
our
God,
video
dude.
would have been for Whisper.
Oh, I would have raged so bad. Oh,
Let's do a delayed reaction.
I almost quit the game. I was so salty. I didn't even play that thing that night. Oh my God.
You were texting
That's what
me.
I said.
I remember.
I was mad. You were there. You probably have the Texas. But yeah. So thank you for listening. Again, like, share, subscribe. And we'll see you again here next week, Guardians.